Hello, my panda pals, and welcome back to the channel and to another recap. Today we're talking The Last Resort, Season 2, Episode 10. Last episode was all about Gino not loving Jasmine, and this episode is all about Josh not loving Natalie, and a little bit of Rob not loving Sophie. But before we get into any of that, I am so excited to be partnering with Boba for this video. We have a massive giveaway planned for you, so be sure to stay tuned to get more details on that. With that said, buckle it up and let's go for a ride. Last episode, everyone got hypnotized, and Julia admits that she made out with her ex in Russia a few years ago.
You cheated.
Not cheating, but we kissing. And
That's cheating.
And she justifies it by saying that they were on the rocks, they were long distance, and they hadn't seen each other for a few months, and she didn't know if Brandon was even serious about their relationship.
we meet couple times, and I think you never come back, and that's it. And I think it is nothing serious.
Now, Brandon is obviously upset to have learned that his wife was making out with her ex, but it's gotta hurt that much more knowing that the ex is hot as fuck. Look at his rippling pectorals. Humana, humana, humana. Anyway, Julia says that she is here to be honest and she didn't want to keep the secret any longer, and Brandon is like, why the hell not? You've been keeping it inside for 5 whole years. And Julia basically says that if therapy cannot help them get through this, then their marriage is doomed.
We start trying to save our relationship and talking with therapist. If it doesn't gonna fix this, what point we come here?
Therapist Sarah goes, do you guys hear that? Of course you don't hear that, silly, because today's sponsor, Boba, is insane and they have given us their first collection of silent toys. That is right, the beauties with the brains over at Boba have created something that they like to call whisper tech. And those angels have blessed us with a line of toys that come in all shapes and hit all the right spots. So obviously, I gotta hook you all up. So I have partnered with Boba to do a giveaway where literally everyone who enters is gonna win a free toy. Let me take a moment and introduce you to the Whisper Collection, the world's first silent vibe that lets you put your pleasure first without waking up the entire house. Or hell, even your partner that's sleeping right next to you. You know and love the Whisper Bullet. This is the silent bullet vibe with 5 speeds and no annoying vibe patterns. It's tiny and literally inaudible, but the power is insane. Then there's the Whisper Rabbit and the Whisper Vibe, which both have 6 vibration speeds and again, no annoying vibe patterns. Whisper Vibe gives you the quietest, girly spot stimulation you will ever find, while the Whisper Rabbit has independently adjustable stimulators for your girly spot and your little happy bean. These 3 beauties are luxury, okay? They are soft, they are waterproof, they are super easy to clean. Did I also mention that they are silent? I do not know how they did that, but I do not care because I love it. And that is why your girly is hooking you all up. So everyone who signs up is going to win a free Whisper Vibe or a free Rose toy with any Whisper Collection purchase. So go ahead, click the link in my description and get yourself a free new vibe. We move on to Sophie, who tells us that her moment is when she was having an argument with Rob in front of her friends, and she lashed out at him by bringing up some very personal things that Rob told her in confidence.
It's not my place to ever share Rob's personal business with anyone. I'm sorry. I could tell that really hurt your feelings.
Thank you.
Rob says his moment is when he responded to that first girl who DM'd him and sent him all of those inappropriate things, and he knows that this was the moment that fucked it all up for them.
I'm really sorry that I started that. I feel like it changed everything. I it all up when I did that.
That actually sounded like a genuine apology, and I'm pretty skeptical when it comes to Rob being sincere. So he's either getting very good at acting or he actually means it. Sophie even tells us that Rob has apologized for online cheating so many times that she's lost count, but this time felt like he actually meant it.
This time, I believe that he regrets it. You know, it's genuine. It feels nice because honestly, it feels like he's trying.
Stacy's moment is when she was having a blowout fight with Florian and she told him that she wanted a divorce and she would have changed it by not saying that. Florian's moment is when he cheated on her and obviously he wishes he never did that. And then there's Josh. Why don't you take a stab in the dark and guess what his moment is? You can stop thinking so hard, I'll tell ya. He doesn't have one.
I don't really have a moment. Like, I couldn't find a moment where Natalie's been hurt, where I couldn't justify the actions that had happened.
Sarah is like, so you don't think you've ever hurt Natalie? And I know that Sarah is just thinking, that is crazy because I can think of 5 things off the top of my head and I've only known you for 18 hours. And Josh is like, I mean, sure, she's been hurt by the things I've done. For example, the whole inviting Sophie to Vegas thing. But again, I had my reasons.
This whole Sophie in Vegas, would I, do something different there? No.
If you know that your words and actions are hurting the person that you are choosing to stay in a relationship with, but you just don't care because you think they deserve it, then you are an abusive person. I understand Natalie is insane. That does not absolve you from treating her like absolute shit. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will not be taking any questions. Josh continues to stick to his guns, and he's like, I have never felt like I've done anything I needed to apologize for. And Sarah is like, yeah, that is not surprising to me.
I'm just saying, there's never been a time I'm so sorry that I did that.
Yeah. Hey, I believe you.
Natalie's moment is when they were both fighting because he wanted to leave and she didn't want him to, and she would change it by letting him go.
When I hold to someone who is not into me, I miss someone who would love me for real.
Girly, then go home. You would think that that is such a simple decision, right? Almost as simple as if you were to take a second and click that subscribe button. All the cool kids are doing it, and you are obviously a cool kid because you are here. Jasmine's moment is her first Christmas in America. She got into a huge fight with Gino and spent it alone in a motel, and she would have done it differently by opening up to him and letting him know in a very nice way what he could do to make her feel less sad.
I am very sorry, Gino, because I have been not the person that you wanted me to be. I'm so sorry.
Then she says that she will always love him regardless of whether they stay together or not, which to me felt like a really weird thing to say in that situation. But what was weirder was when Gino hugged her back and said, "Aw, that was sweet," instead of what I feel like most people would have said, which is, "Aw, I'm gonna love you no matter what too."
We end up together or not, I will always love you. I will always love you.
That's sweet.
Anyway, Gino's moment is about a time that he is not willing to talk about.
Are you open to sharing it with us?
I'd rather not. I think this hurts in himself.
He's right. It only hurts you.
Jasmine is like, what the hell? I opened up to save our marriage and this man is giving me nothing. And then she tells him that it would mean a whole lot to her if he shared, and Gino keeps saying no.
The common denominator is everybody cheating. Did you cheat on me?
Gino ultimately says that his moment is every time he told her to go back to Panama, and he gives some lame-ass apology for it, and absolutely zero people believe that this is the moment he did not want to share.
I said, well, just go back to Panama. I'm sorry for that.
I know him so well. It is not what he wanted to say initially.
Ari says her moment is every single time she used a negative word to describe Binny, which that has to be an alarmingly large percentage of their relationship based on how she has talked about Binny to other people here and to just his face. Binny's moment is from the beginning of their relationship when he says he was dating a woman, then decided to date Ari, but then never stopped talking to the initial woman. And Ari starts to pick apart the timeline because it does not add up.
So you were in a relationship with that girl when you were with your ex-wife? Because we met 3 months after you broke up with your ex-wife.
This was a little confusing to me because if you did not meet Binny until 3 months after he broke up with his ex-wife, it feels completely plausible that he met this other woman in those 3 months. But Ari is very adamant that there was no other woman at the beginning of their relationship. She says that Binny did not start seeing another woman until after she gave birth to their son, and Binny is just out here rewriting history to soften the blow of being such a shitty person. And then Ari tries to fight back, and Sarah interrupts them, and she's like, stop.
Ari, I'm talking to you right now. A lot of these moments have been challenging. Just starting that process of apologizing is a good start.
Group therapy is over, and Sarah reminds them all that this was an exercise in realizing it takes two to tango and not everything is always your partner's fault. Julia tries to talk to Brandon and explain that she needed to tell him because that secret is what was keeping her from being able to move forward in their relationship.
My relationship is toxic and we need to have a sex.
The sex thing's on you. You're creating the toxicity.
So Brandon walks away from the conversation because he's too pissed to even look at her, and then everyone heads back to the camp and he sets up his own tent so that he can sleep by himself. Natalie tells us she hates that Josh does not seem to be giving in the same amount of effort, but she again is gonna let it slide because Josh is here and he's next to her, and that's gotta count for something, right?
At the end of the day, he's still here tonight and he hasn't left me yet.
Oh, God, may I never, ever become this delusional. Rob talks to Brandon and tries to say that it sounds like the cheating happened at the beginning of their relationship when things maybe weren't super serious, and Brandon is like, nah dude, we had already filed our K-1 visa at this point.
For her to blindside him with that information years later in front of everybody after they're already married, I don't know what Julia's thinking right now.
Everyone gathers around the fire pit and starts to make some s'mores, except for Natalie. She went for the potato.
What is that?
That is a potato.
That's a potato?
Yeah.
You're gonna cook it?
No, she's gonna shove it up her asshole. Natalie says she went for the potatoes because it felt just like home.
I honestly don't feel like trying I'm into potato because it felt like home when I was a child.
Now, this is Sophie's first s'more ever, and she is not a fan.
S'mores are not my thing. It's like gooey and crunchy and like not in a good way. It was just gross. It's honestly disgusting.
I love s'mores, and it hurts me deeply that she thinks they are disgusting. Stacy and Florian are hanging out by themselves, being cute, and Jasmine crashes the party, and Florian looks like he wishes a rattlesnake would just bite her in the leg. Jasmine says the therapy today made her realize that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you take accountability. So she's here to apologize to Florian. She says sorry, and Florian says thank you, and then he goes on to say that he has no ill will towards her, and he knows she's here to try and fix her relationship, but she needs to be okay with Gino having fun once in a while.
You think it's good? You can say to him. You think, oh, somebody say to me, going to be mad? No, say it to him. Think about it before you talk. You know my point?
And I know that Jasmine is being held back by the arms of the good Lord himself right now, and she is just pursing her lips, and she's like, mm-hmm. Florian tells us that since Jasmine decided to be the bigger person and apologize, he is now willing to talk to her like she is a person. Jasmine tells Florian that he is her last hope to get Gino to open up and be honest. Like, no pressure, but the future of my marriage rests on your shoulders.
Florian is the only person Gino is gonna listen to. Maybe Florian can make him be vulnerable.
Back at the fire, Brandon leaves for his tent because he doesn't want to talk to anybody. Sophie tells Julia that it is so obvious that Josh does not like Natalie, and Natalie takes a bite out of a potato so burnt that it is now just charcoal.
Her mouth is turning black.
It's the best potato ever.
Jasmine then decides to take this beautiful moment to call Josh out. She's like, how is it possible that you were the only person who thought that they had nothing to apologize for? And Josh is like, okay, it's not that I don't think I have anything to apologize for. I just couldn't think of a moment where I ever thought, oh gosh, I should really tell Natalie I'm sorry. Which, Joshua, that means you don't think you have anything you have to apologize for. Why are you like this?
Do you think that it has to do with the fact that you don't see this woman as your partner?
There are a lot of times where I don't love that Jasmine just does something to stir up shit, but in this moment, I'm very happy because this had to be said. Natalie does not agree with me. She says that she is grateful Jasmine is standing up for her, but she really should not have brought it up at a time when everyone is happy and having fun.
She doesn't want to deal with her own problems with her husband. I feel like she's provoking me right now.
Josh continues to try to defend himself, saying that the two of them are at this resort to work on the potential of being in a committed relationship. Jasmine looks at Natalie and she's like, listen, girlie, I do have my own shit to deal with, but I have to tell you that this man does not look at you like a partner.
He doesn't look at you as a partner.
Well, that's not what I said.
Buddy, you didn't have to. You would literally have to be dead to not realize that you do not give a shit about this woman.
This guy give you like the leftovers. You act like a puppy, so desperate.
If you think I'm a puppy, that's fine. Puppies are nice, I like puppies.
Jasmine is like, bitch, is you dumb? The puppy is a metaphor. Stacey then asks Natalie if she loves Josh, and she says yes. And then she asks Josh if he loves Natalie, and he skirts around the question.
So Josh, do you love Natalie?
I've been caring for Natalie our entire relationship.
Stacey does not hesitate in calling him out, and she says, I asked if you loved Natalie, not if you care for her. So, do you or do you not love Natalie? And Josh answers the question with another question.
Do you think I would do all these things if I didn't love her?
So Rob just cuts to the chase, and he asks Natalie if she's satisfied with Josh's answers, and Natalie basically says she's a sadist, she loves drama, and if our relationship does not have any drama, she would probably die of boredom. Which, that is a lot of red flags in that statement.
All the couples are trying to get something out of it. Not them. I don't want them here.
Josh then grabs Natalie, whisks her away, because if they stay there a minute longer, he might lose access to the doll he likes to kick around for fun.
Maybe she's still hypnotized. She hasn't snapped out of it yet.
It's a new day, and Jasmine is beat because she could not go to sleep on account of all the Randy donkeys wanting to get some.
What the heck?
These are horny donkeys.
Josh couldn't sleep because Natalie was tossing and turning, and he can only sleep next to someone who is completely still. And Rob got a good night's sleep, but he woke up to a super salty wife.
Sophie was super weird to me this morning, though. She's pissed off at me for some reason. I don't even know why.
Jasmine heads out to check in on Sophie to see why she isn't joining the gang for breakfast, and Sophie tells her that she's frustrated because everyone at this resort is only seeing the nice side of Rob, and that this morning she found out that Rob has not changed at all.
I basically saw on his phone that he's been texting women the whole time during this resort.
So Rob apparently has been texting women the entire time he's been at this resort. Jasmine is like, that is insane, considering he gave you such a heartfelt apology yesterday.
You're down to be adventurous. Let's explore.
He's not trying to be with me.
Asshole.
I need more information. I need more receipts. I need more context. Someone needs to leak these DMs pronto. Someone needs to feed me. And that, my Panda Pals, is all I have for you today. Now, before I get into the whole end of the video thing where I tell you to like and subscribe, I just want to take a brief moment to thank all of my members as well as anyone who gave me any super thanks recently. So I am looking at you, Nobul, Angelique, Ali, Skyball, Julie, Faye, Sister Bluebird, Targaryen Paula, love that name, Deb, Shin, Carrie, and my ride or die spud, Poe. And for super thanks, I have Anna. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. It is wild to me that people like my content enough to basically tip me. And yeah, I'm so grateful. It really helps the channel out. I hope that I can keep producing content that makes you guys happy and puts a smile on your face. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the ride. Go ahead, click that subscribe button if you have not yet. Give this video a big thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought of this one. I hope to see you guys for the next one, and as always, thanks for not letting me ride this train wreck alone. Bye!